Welcome everybody to episode 3 of our Priestess Initiation, Building the Foundation for Nathalie's 10-month program in Edmonton.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you. Welcome everyone. So glad that you could join us here. So today's topic is self-care versus soul care. And it's a concept that a really good friend of mine kind of wrote about. She blogged about. Jennifer Sommerfeld is her name, and she kind of brought it to light how there's a little bit, there's a subtle difference between those two kinds of care. And so today's talk is, I wanted to take that concept and explore it a little bit further in terms of how does it relate to the work that we do, especially in the mystery school and kind of as a greater community. How is this relevant? So self-care is I think it's a term that is really familiar with most people today.
It's all over the place.
All over. You can find information everywhere. You can find help wherever you go on how to look after the self. And, the importance there being finding balance, making sure that all aspects of the self are really tended to, that we're getting enough sleep, that we're getting proper nutrition, that, you see a lot of people who have really thriving, excellent careers. I've met quite a few people like this who they're just really centered in their career. They know who they are. And yet they have, a problem with addictions, or their primary relationship is falling apart and they don't, know how to communicate really well. So there's one aspect of their life that's in shambles while these other aspects are doing really, really well. And that's where I think self-care comes in, is making sure that we have a really good flow and balance between all aspects. All aspects are cared for, basically.
I think it's funny because sometimes it seems like the self-care thing is one added pressure on an already very fast-paced world, right? It's like you should have your career organized, you should have, and you should be getting at least 8 hours of sleep, drinking your water, making sure you get your your meditation in, your exercise, and moisturizing. And if not, then you need self-care, right? And so I think that's kind of where the soul care thing comes in, is partially realizing like it's okay where you're at is okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because soul care, I think, from my own perspective in my own life, it's about kind of going one step deeper inside within my own kind of inner world to really explore what is it that is out of balance right now, and not do it, like you said, not do it from that should, right? We should ourselves to death in our society right now. There's so many shoulds that ends up being like a burden that we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
And so soul care is actually about tuning into that voice that's really deep and still within the heart, within kind of even one term I love is the cave of the heart. So it's like going inside the heart of the heart, and learning to listen, learning to inform yourself from that place within, which means being really honest with yourself. What's really going on, what's really unresolved in your past, maybe in your own heart, and starting the process of uncovering layer by layer what's unresolved, unfinished, in need of healing within the self.
Yeah, that's a good distinction, I think, because I think oftentimes self-care means feeling good, but sometimes if you're not feeling good, we live in a world where it's like we should be positive and thinking positively in order to create what we want in our lives. But if you're having these feelings of sadness or anger or, anything that is going on within you, actually allowing that to be the case is, I think, even though it doesn't feel good right at the moment, it's ultimately more soulful. And I think that soul care is kind of like shadow work. What do you think?
Yeah, it would definitely be, I think that's one aspect of it, is being willing to look at the shadows, look at the parts of self that we've really relegated to the back corner of our inner house, right? That closet that we've locked, that we swore we'd never go in. I don't want anyone to know that about me. They can know this, and this, and this about me. Not that.
Yeah, not that.
No, not that.
Else.
Exactly. So if we're going to do, if we're really going to dive into soul care, then we've got to be willing to, first of all, admit that that's there. That's even in my closet, right? First of all. And then to be willing and courageous enough to take that out of the closet and to maybe even talk about it and to explore it somehow, journal about it, meditate on it, whatever that might look like. But to kind of like pull the cover off of it.
And having other people, I know I have friends in my life that, anything goes and I really can just be myself. And that is so nourishing for my being. It's amazing. And I think you kind of create that space, right, in your priestess initiation program, right? Is part of it is having that safe space where these parts of yourself can emerge that maybe have been in the closet for a while. And once they're, I don't like the word exposed, but once they're to the light, then you expose you. There's healing, right?
Exactly. That is a big part of what we do is learn what it looks like to be in a space that's really nurturing of that honest kind of real raw expression of the self. And there's some steps required to get there, in order to get to that place where we feel that we trust the container enough, that we trust ourselves enough, that we can sink into kind of a deeper truth about the self. All of that kind of takes a little bit of care and love and attention in order to be able to even go there. And then when we can go there, then there's, the potential for really deep healing is great. It's there. It's right in our face.
Yeah. Wow. So cool. So you have 10 months of weekend 4-day retreats and then full moon circles, right, for the priestess initiation. And we're just talking to people about that starting in September.
It starts in September and it goes all the way to June. And the retreats, you stay on site and there's beautiful food. And so, we kind of take away all of the have-tos and the responsibilities and the hats that we wear just so that we can go right to where the heart of the issues are and explore that in a really honest way.
Yeah. So I guess for our viewers, if you're looking for an opportunity to be in that safe space with other women where maybe you want to explore those parts of yourself that have been in the closet for a while, and maybe they're just kind of tapping or they're yelling at you and it's time for some soul care to feel a little bit lighter, right?
That's right.
It's a great opportunity.
Absolutely. So the portal is open now for registration for this. And Andrea and I have set up a contest for people. So if you share this video or comment on it or like it or whatever kind of other social media thing people do, that will enter you into a contest for a free soul exploration session.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Nathalie. And our next episode is on sovereignty, so stay tuned for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.